Hello, everybody. This is Mickey Mao with CartoonMoneyPrinters.com. Today is July 13th. It's Sunday, 2025. Um, I am joined here by Astronaut Toad. None of that sounds right, either by here or with here. But I'm here with Astronaut Toad. We're going to be discussing the all-time highs and kind of the near future of what that means. Um, in the realm of
Yeah,
crypto. Here, I need to
yeah.
pop open your stream here. Minimize that. So how you been?
I've been having fun watching the market crank up and finally getting to follow my own advice of just sitting back and taking profits on long-term longs.
Yeah, yeah.
And that goes into what I want to talk about tonight, which is like, look at the monthly chart. Like, we haven't closed July yet. There's still 17 days left in July, but we'll look at both the monthly chart and the weekly chart, because the weekly chart is the one that just closed a candle. But look at this monthly volume and look at how it's just falling off. I have these circles make more sense on like the daily chart or the weekly chart. I'm not sure which, but we'll get there.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see how like the highest volume was back in March when this pump hit the top here. And since we have hit new all-time highs, this is where we started hitting new all-time highs, was this candle here. There was a volume pump there, but since then, in November of 2024, sorry, this was March of 2024, not of this year. Keep that in mind. Since November of 2024, the volume has just been down, 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 down. And the fact that this volume, I mean, we're not even halfway through July yet, but this volume is on track to be just so low. So yeah, it looks like, let me hide everything here, or let me hide the drawings here.
From what that tells
Just
me, just on the volume coming dwindling down, that's essentially like a sign of a reversal, right?
volume. Yeah, so think of it as uh, all types of uh, momentum, strength, any measurement of power in a move. If the volume fading is a bad sign for whatever direction to continue. So if price is pumping up, but volume is just fading, what does that mean? It means fewer people are playing, and you're basically on thin ice because a big player wants to come along. And the way I like to explain it is whoever bought back here in March of 2024, well, actually, this is a pump top candle, so it's probably a sell lot. This is, even though this candle is green, the smart money is probably selling at this high. And so we look back all the way to November of 2022. That's when the highest volume was traded in the last however many years. So think of it this way. The smartest people with the most money, if you've got $1 billion or millions of dollars, you are smart enough, usually, so there's some idiots out there, but you're smart enough to know to get in back here at these lows. If you paid 20,000, 16,000 per Bitcoin, and it is now at 120,000, you are looking. So this is the point I'm trying to make. What we should see is this. Let's see if I can do a range. Which I need a template for candle drawing, huh? Okay. This is what we're looking at. That's what I want to see, is a candle that spikes all the way up to this level. See how it matches that old all-time high? not all-time high, the low, the swing low of the whole market in November 2022. That's what I want to see, is something like that. And then that's the sign of the reversal. That's the indication that a crash is about to happen. So if the next candle, it might happen this month, if this thing just reverses hard and just slams back down, that would be a very obvious reversal sign, because it would be a shooting star doji, or it could happen in August. Either way, if we get a giant red volume candle, it could happen. See, the way to look at it is think of the smart money and how they are hiding. They're trying to hide the signs. Like, if you have millions of dollars and you want to get into the market, you need to trick people into selling to you. You need people to be panicking by the millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and selling into your waiting hands. How do they do that? They hide their volume in this. It's a downward candle, so this should be a red candle, and it's a small volume. It's a small move, but the volume is crazy high, right? So that's how they hide the sign that this is it. This is where you should have bought like crazy, is this insane volume candle. So that's why I trust volume. If we see this, even if, let's hide this stuff so I can make it easier. Save template. Even if the candle ends up being green, okay? And let's save this as a template. The candle might be a green candle, and that would be even more sneaky for the market makers, the people who want to sell and take profits on millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. If it was a giant green candle, that would be even more of a causing people to FOMO in by buying at the top. And they're buying from the eager waiting sellers who want to get out.
I'm curious.
Now, a candle like this could be a rocket. Like I said earlier in the private Discord, we could shoot from here to 150K. I don't care. Like, Bitcoin could go to the moon, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, next up. As soon as Bitcoin goes flying up to 130, 140, 150K, and you start hearing people say, oh my gosh, it's never coming back, it's going to go to, $250,000, 200K per Bitcoin. That's when you start looking back at this volume and go, it looks like a reversal.
Yeah.
And you should not be FOMOing into a long, or if you are scalping the smaller time frames and taking profits on the way up. You are not buying here. This is especially if it starts rocketing up. You do not buy at 125K expecting it to go to 250K. That's just bad trading.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it might go to 250K, but it's still bad trading.
I'm kind of curious. Indulge me. Can you go to the volume BTC settings and then pull up delta? The volume delta.
What do you mean?
Isn't there inputs? Oh, this doesn't have it. Okay.
We can look at delta, I think. Cumulative delta often is not that good on TradingView because it's faked data. But it does have, here are my defaults, these EMAs. But this is what I expected. It's not like the cumulative delta is wimpy. Like, that's just pathetic compared to these big moves.
Yeah.
this is every indication of, yeah, it's not a bear divergence, but it's losing steam. It is running out of energy. It's running out of juice. So the fact that it's trying to pump a big old candle like this, but the cumulative delta is this wimpy little candle right here, that's not good. That is a bad sign. And again, we're just reading the charts based on the technical, what it reveals. You know, there's 17 days, 18 days left in the month. Volume could come in and FOMO this thing to 200K. And then the reversal, the crash that I'm talking about being inevitable, it might be from 200K back to 150K. So that's the perspective that we have to keep of like, oh, Astronaut Toad is saying like, oh, we're due for a crash, and then it goes from 119K to 200K. You know, like, well, I was wrong. He was wrong. That's not, that I'm trying to keep perspective on how the market actually works in that regard. This is showing all the indications of volume, the cumulative delta, and our indicators. I can pull up, I have Market Smasher and Money Minter here. Like, we're looking at potential bear divergences, but they're kind of getting invalidated at this point right about now. Let's see. Money Minter, yeah, it's still lower. Momentum is still lower. So if in July or August we get a flat line or a slight pullback, momentum will roll over and give us a bear divergence. The weekly chart is even more blatant, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, and no, the weekly chart, like this weekly candle, it's kind of invalidating the bearish divergences that we were potentially going to see.
Yep.
So again, this could rip to, straight up.
And we are in uncharted territory, and so like
anytime there's all-time highs, you gotta be ready for that uncharted territory. And at all-time highs, a lot of strategies simply cease to work. Like ICT, there is no protocol for all-time highs. Like, because of the way market structure is drawn and designed, all-time highs are kind of untradeable for different strategies like ICT. And that's one reason why I like the Market Smasher and the PAR and pivots, because they let you trade, like you can trade all-time highs. I wanted to show off our win on the 1 hour Heiken Ashi candles that we just had on Astro Toad strategy. Look at this. There was a long right here on Saturday, and it just hit the take profit this afternoon at 3 p.m. my time. And it had a stop out here, but actually I think I held on to this trade because I set my stop loss a little lower. Yeah, that's this low here. The way Market Smasher works, we kind of have a flexible designation for setting your stop loss and take profits. And these long entry, long exit signals are just for my back testing. But the way we have designed the Market Smasher strategy, this would be your stop loss right there, which didn't get hit. And then now, oh, this is a mess. Let me clean this up. I'll post the full weekly technical analysis in the private Discord for the outlook for the week. But basically, I can the answer, the burning question that everybody wants to know the answer to is, like, what do we do at all-time highs? And the answer to that is our indicators are showing that this is a bearish, we're starting to get bearish divergences. So if you had, okay, going back to where we were, if you had taken that long, you would now be at a 10% pump. I usually trade Bitcoin at like 40 or 50x leverage. So you're going nuts on that trade. I think this trade got hit profit somewhere around here. I had a profit target, and so that trade closed out. And then I got into another long here that just hit profit as well. And I think I've doubled my account over the last month or so, just based on trading market smasher strategy alone. And this is the 1 hour time frame. Like, it gives you plenty of time to get into your trades. See these entries here? Like, if it's boosting and you're like, oh no, I missed it, it spends a good 10 hours at, coming back and forth around your entry, and then it takes off. That's why I love the market smasher as a strategy. You got that classic fire hose, often happens over the weekend, so you're more flexible on being able to check the charts. And we have back tested this for 50, 75, 100 trades, and it works. So that's why I like this. That's why I like our strategies in general, because they make all-time highs tradable. Having said that, as I posted in the private Discord earlier today, at this profit target for this long, I switched to a short, because what we're seeing on the par is this, the daily is in totally overbought. Like, it's maxed out near 42 or 43. Like, it's the highest it can go is somewhere up here. But then we're also looking at a bearish divergence on the 4 hour, the blue ribbon here, and we've got a bearish divergence on the 30-60 right here. So 3 different time frame bearish divergences, and the money minter is also getting bear divergence-ish
and think of it
as
like
well.
this too. This move happened on a Sunday in the U.S. Like, this is pre-market, so I'm sure that, like, when Monday comes around, market opens, like, you're gonna see either they chase the longs or a complete reversal.
Yeah. So let's look at par and pivots, our other indicators. And there's the Bollinger Band thing that we were playing with last week. So if looking at pivots, we have so much stuff going on. This super thin CPR, central pivot range, obviously led to this rip up. Now we have a wider CPR. But look down here. See this pink blob? That is the new, what is that, the weekly pivot? I'm going to zoom out to the daily. Yeah. So on the 1 hour chart, we can see the new weekly pivot is in fact what they call virgin. It is way down here, completely untouched. So, like, even this new daily pivot range is untouched. Look at that. So this is just, gravity is just wants to yank price down, especially when you have a wide pivot range like this after a big move. You usually see on this wide pivot range, you see price just chopping back and forth inside this pivot range. So at the very least, we should see sometime this week or in the next few days, we should see price drop back down to 118, down to 118, 370, or maybe 117. That's not even that far of a drop. But I like how this central pivot range edge matches up with the midline of this old daily. So that's why I had to open a short. I'm only risking some of the profits of my long that I took profits on. But when all the signs are there, you have to follow your rules. Even if you're like, well, I know it's probably just going to rip straight to 130K or something, you're like, it's probably going to do that. I don't know. I've lost track of how many times I thought to myself, "Oh, I'm smarter than, I'm smarter than my strategy, or I'm smarter than whatever. I know what's going to happen. It's going to crash or fly." And then it didn't happen, and the trade that was a valid trade that I should have taken hit profit. You know, so that's why I just over the last year or so, I just got totally emotionally detached. And if I see a valid trade, I take it. That means right now I'm shorting an all-time high, which is a terrible idea, but so what? I lose the trade. I'm following the rules, and that gives me peace of mind, and it makes it fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I know not everybody's trading for fun and entertainment, but I have to see it that way because otherwise it gets too close to degenerate gambling. And if anybody out there can relate to that, I want to talk to you in our private Discord because we go over that a lot, the trading psychology of how to not ruin your life trading. Like, send me a DM. Seriously, I'm here to help people learn to trade profitably, but from the standpoint of don't ruin your life with a gambling addiction.
Yeah, if you're getting to a
You know,
point where you're like either angry at a trade or scared or anything that deals with FUD, you need to
yeah,
take a step back and then reassess it and come into it with a clean mind. Like, um, it's definitely a huge impact on your real life when you lose that much. It could really make your headspace pretty bad. So it's good to
yeah,
detach from that and look at it technically and try to approach it like dare I say like a robot, like a machine, and just remove the emotional aspect
yeah.
of it and look at the data.
There's always gonna let's not discount subjective wisdom. I think there will always be some element of wisdom or intuition that plays a calculated role in your strategy rules. You kind of know, and you can listen to your gut, but you have to log it. You have to be taking notes and being like, my gut gave me this feeling that I shouldn't trust this setup. It looks like a fake out or whatever. It looks like a bear trap, a bull trap. Okay, trust your gut, but take notes. Write down, I trusted my gut on this trade, and then go back later and be like, yep, I won. I'm smart. Or nope, I was wrong. I lost that trade.
Mm-hmm.
And that should guide you in the right direction.
Yeah,
It may it may cause you to never trust your gut and trade like a machine, a robot.
yeah,
Or it may guide you in the direction of, you know what? My intuition, when these certain setups happen, my intuition is correct.
yeah. And it's another data set that you can pull from to correct your behaviors.
I'm looking at the 1 hour chart and I'm seeing this confluence of, I want to draw a box here. Look at this. This high right here. No, this is the highest close. Is that 15? Oh, wow, double tapped that exact number. That's interesting. So here's what I'm noticing. We're not having closes above, like inside this range substantially. See that? Price is struggling to close above this level of, what's the bottom? 119, 130. So we have an established level. This, in my opinion, you have in this box, in this red box, you could have some millionaire market maker just with a sell order that is just he's got millions of dollars or $1 billion worth of Bitcoin to sell. And so he's just triggering somewhere in this level. There's just somebody selling like crazy, and the FOMO buyers aren't realizing it yet. So at this point, you don't this level, you want to see a strong close above this level. then you really want to see a strong close above all these wicks right here. Otherwise, it's reversal city. We have this virgin CPR on the daily and on the weekly, just wanting to drag price down. So that's my overall forecast. It really is that simple this week. Is look out below. Yeah, it could rip straight to 130, 150K from here. But right now, the signs just don't say it.
The tea leaves don't say it. Hey, let's take a look at hype.
Yeah. Yeah,
Another-
this is a great moment overall because the all-time highs. Remember what we were saying last weekend. If Bitcoin pumps, the altcoins are going to have a season. So I want to look at Bitcoin. See, is that it?
Yeah.
I'll look at Bitcoin dominance. Yep, see, Bitcoin dominance has fallen since the pump started. Look at that. That's interesting. So what this means right here is that since this pump started, altcoins were doing even better. And we're getting a little bit of an altcoin season since Saturday morning. Let me go back to BTC. That was the low there. Oh, so now we need to look back here to this last weekly CPR. This is going to be interesting. Okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So we had a razor thin CPR on Bitcoin dominance, and it just cascaded down. So this whole pump of Bitcoin has been outshined by altcoins. That's what this means. It's making a bit of a reversal. So this right here is based on market structure. That's a weak shift of market structure, and it's kind of grinding back down. So Bitcoin dominance might waffle around right here, which means we'll probably see Bitcoin pump a little bit and then altcoins pump a little bit and just kind of chop up and down around here. But this is another super narrow CPR, and we are downside wick test slap down. So honestly, this week, I want to call it, we could have, well, no, this is a daily CPR, but this is the weekly CPR. I still think this setup right here, this razor thin weekly CPR, I've got another razor thin weekly CPR that is virgin right there. With this setup right here, I think we have altcoin season coming this week. As long as Bitcoin doesn't absolutely crash, I think we have altcoin season. Okay, with that said, let's look at what other coins.
Hype.
It gets my favorite. Oh man, look at that. Rip, rip, rip. Yeah, where did we get in? What was last weekend? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think I got in somewhere around here at this CPR retest here. Not bad, 39 to 49. Should probably close some of that trade.
Rippity doodah.
Seriously. But again, we have the same thing. We have a very wide and very untouched CPR here on this new weekly. So it is pullback time. But it probably is shakeout pullback time.
I do have to
where this is the kind of...
in context to what we were saying on Bitcoin and stuff. Tuesday, July 15th, CPI for June.
Yeah, that CPI could be bad, and that might give us a nasty shakeout wick before a altcoin insane pump. So that's what I would say is watch for that.
Retail.
This might waffle around right here.
Retail sales
and then it
coming out Thursday, and then Thursday import price index as well. So we got a few notes coming out this week, which could spell a little bit of a negative negative data.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this week. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to just trade it by the book, trade my rules very meticulously, religiously. Trade your rules, folks. Look at these altcoins. Like this has two, not just one, but two virgin CPRs here.
It sounded like you said
This is
trade my Riz. That's hilarious.
so look at, I mean, 46.78 or whatever, 46.8 on hype. It's gotta rip down and wick that
Yeah,
at least.
I changed
Even
my
if we do have altcoin season incoming and it's gonna go sky high, this is gonna be the shakeout wick. And I think I have a similar situation with my other coin that I've been watching, Uni. No, that's interesting. Look at that. This is looking real interesting. You could reload on that CPR there, but this is, that's interesting. Okay, I'm going to switch back to Market Smasher. Oh yeah, there we go. Longity long, long, long. Look at that. So there is Market Smasher. There's your stop loss. I would put the stop loss below that low back here, this mechanical market structure low. And then the profit target's up here. That looks ripe. That looks fantastic. However, we did have a bearish reversal, bearish divergence on the 4 hour here. But that's kind of played out. Well, no, if I go to the 4 hour, it's probably still valid. Yeah, we're just getting to the tail end of that 4 hour bearish divergence. But even if this rips from here, it'll rip. I'll take profits on that trade. But then the 4 hour ribbon probably won't get all the way back up here. So it'll be a double bearish divergence on both the par and the money minter. So again, we could have an insane altcoin season incoming, but I think it will involve a crash as well. And I think that's what we're seeing across the board. Good evening, Penny.
Penny.
So yeah, what else do we want to look at? We looked at hype, we looked at Bitcoin dominance.
Let's check out total, one of the totals for others.
Yep, as expected, others is flying. Look at that. Nice little bull div right here on par and money minter. Man, that was, see right there, that when you see this on others dominance, that's when you start looking for your trades on altcoins right there. And I think that's approximately when I got in on Uni. Actually, I think I've been holding the Uni trade for a while longer than that. Yes. I think I got in around here and then I set the stop loss. I got stopped out of part of the trade, but I didn't have the full stop loss because this was like that. Look at that annoyance of that wick just barely taps the stop loss. I think I re-entered the trade because it just went flying back up and I was still underneath my entry. But I did take profits on the Uni trade on one of these pumps here. So yeah, that's my forecast for that's my market outlook for the week is, yeah, altcoin season is 25%. That was a spot trade. Imagine if I had done that on 10x leverage. 25%. And I called it in the private Discord. I mentioned it multiple times saying, hey guys, check Uni, watch the Market Smasher, watch par and pivots. I don't think, I mean, it was a sketchy trade because we had bearish divergences here and it was just kind of waffling around here. But yeah, good times.
Yeah.
That's all I got for this week.
Yeah, let's call it here.
I'm excited for this next week, but it's going to be volatile. So I'm honestly going to just do my best to practice sitting back, trading clean, valid setups. Again, all-time highs are sketchy. They are designed to get FOMO people to become bag holders. Remember that monthly chart. open up the monthly chart yourself and look at it and look at the volume and go to the weekly chart as well. Look at the volume and just think about it and how it makes sense that when price is at an all-time high, the smartest, most wealthy people are looking to take profits. That's just the way it works. So yeah, it could keep ripping, but you have to be careful.
Real quick, let's go back to BTC, and then pull a fib from the bottom, back when it was like 15, 16.
I want to check Bitcoin on Binance just to see if it's a similar situation. Oh yeah, Binance's monthly chart has this ridiculous fall off because they were basically doing money laundering. I think that's the allegation, is they were doing money laundering until March of 2023, when people were just using Binance's exchange they had like 0 fees for, if you had like over $1 million in trading, you could pay 0 fees. And so people were doing money laundering. That's why there's 9 million Bitcoin being traded. But yeah, so it fell off a cliff, and that's why I don't trust Binance's USDT Bitcoin chart that much now. You can kind of see a similar scenario on the weekly chart. You can kind of see how weekly volume has just died as we've hit these all-time highs. So it's the same warning signal that I've been giving people with the Coinbase chart. Watch out. This dead volume should speak volumes, no pun intended.
Absolutely. Let's pull a fib.
But what did you want to look at?
Pull a fib from the 16K, the bottom, till the top now.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you're onto something. Yeah, see, this is the weekly charts where I was highlighting the volume candles. See how this pump has decent volume, and then this next pump has no volume, and then now this pump has even less volume. Oh, that is, you're just standing on a trapdoor, like. All right, let's do this fib and let's be done. I think it's going to be a choppy week. It's going to be exciting. Altcoins are where it's at if you're looking for longs.
Yeah.
But just keep an eye on Bit to see if as long as it stays stable, because we really have a look out below situation here. Honestly, that kind of, there's some confluence there. Like, look at that. You have confluence on, this isn't the 786. This is halfway between the 786. Let me put my labels in, maybe. So the 786 has confluence with this level, this historic level back here. The 618 has confluence. Golden Pocket kind of has confluence with this fair value gap, and then it boosted some more. And then the 50% gets confluence with the old all-time high-ish from 2021. And then you got a little bit more confluence with these other levels here, where it's kind of wicking them, but I don't really count that as that strong of confluence. But honestly, here's the other thing I like to do, is drag it higher and then kind of look and see if you see anything more lining up. Like, what if that's your lineup right there? You know, 132K. That could make sense. Put your 50%, right? See where it taps this and then it retests it as support. Put your 50% there. That's giving me 132K in the next month or two. Let's call that our forecast.
Yeah.
not financial advice, but that's my degenerate gambler forecast. And then the other thing I want to do is, now that I have that alignment, check the next bit of market structure. Or do we have any alignment here? Yeah, this could be. Let's refine this just a little bit. Put the golden pocket right at that fair value gap. See how the 50% lines up and that lines up. So now we're at 134-ish, 135K. That's the fine-tuned forecast. And I'll move this over. We'll go like that, and we'll just let it play out. And we'll check it each weekend and see what happens.
Yep, perfect. All right, well,
I better bump it back one just so that in case it goes straight up.
let's call it there. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you want to check out our Discord and be part of the group, you go to cartoonmoneyprinters.com. Click the link. It'll take you to whoop.com to sign in, and then link your TradingView account and your Discord, and it'll automatically onboard you here in the group. You sign up with a card, you can get 1 month free trial just to test us out and see if we're what you're looking for. We have a lot of tools, a lot of indicators. We have strategies.
We have the indicators. The indicators that we have some very traditional standard indicators that are tried and true, proven that they work well. We also have very specialized, customized indicators that we internally developed. They are our secret recipes that I use, Kermix uses, and we designed them for our own unique trading style. And we have proven through specific laid out back testing that the strategies actually work. Like, we have done this on live streams even before, where we go back and just find 10, 20 trades, valid trades, log them, whatever the risk reward ratio is, the win rate is, and you can tell that the strategies are profitable. And me and Kermit and everybody in the Discord are always there to help people learn the strategies. I do one-on-one coaching, mentoring, sometimes at Market Open, New York time. I'll try and be there, 2 or 3 days each week. And so we can cover anywhere in the world. We talk to guys in France and elsewhere to fine tune the strategy, understanding the strategy. Because just watching a video and not being able to ask questions is not the best way to try and learn a strategy.
Yeah.
I want everybody to learn it hands-on by doing it. Send me a screenshot and be like, is this valid? And then I work with them and say, okay, here's what you did right. Here's what you overlooked. Keep an eye on this. And, that's how we roll.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, come and join us. We got some things that we're working on in the background too. So stay tuned for all of that, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Talk to you later.